What is going on, ladies and gentlemen of the gaming community? It's your friendly neighborhood Centurion 1307, still holding it down right here on Level-Headed Boulevard. Next gen is coming quick, and so are the greedy little tactics that are starting to be rolled out by a few publishers. When CD Projekt Red and Ubisoft came out and said that they were not going to charge for next-gen upgrades, other developers should have got the hint. Instead, we're finding out what developers do it for the games and what developers do it for the money. Oh, and there's a big difference. When you have a passion for your product, you get stuff like Grounded and Ori and the Blind Forest. But when you're in it for the money, you get the crap toss games like Call of Duty and other rinse and repeat games. Speaking of rinse and repeat, let's start with EA's new title, Madden 21. It doesn't get any more blatantly obvious when you use assets from games 2 years ago and do nothing to get rid of the year that they were created. You can see here in a video that was posted on Twitter how it clearly says Madden 2019 and Madden 20 all over the stadium that the individual is playing in. Players have also noted instances where the developer reused animations from games years ago. The rinse and repeat cycle of most sports games have left most gamers' pockets burned and feeling that most of these franchises should be stripped from the publishers that are holding them ransom. It becomes even more apparent when the developer for NBA 2K21 comes out and lets everybody know that their next-gen upgrade is going to be locked behind the $100 version of the game. This was followed soon after by the creators of Control stating that they were going to lock their next-gen upgrade behind the Ultimate version that hasn't even released yet. This basically screws over everyone who bought the game day one wanting to support it. I also need to point out that I loved playing Control and bought this game day one, but they did reuse a lot of assets from Quantum Break. People who have played both Quantum Break and Control both agree that the game looks and feels just like Quantum Break. With all this greed and anti-consumer tactics running around like crazy, we were all just sitting back waiting for Activision to show their face, and boy, did they show it. Weighing in with at least 10 different versions of the game available currently right now, ladies and gentlemen, walking down to the ring at this time, we have Activision's Call of Duty Cold War, a game where its next-gen upgrades get so confusing you have to actually physically sit down and create a graph just to know which games have the next-gen upgrade. Certain versions of the game are locked into last gen, other versions are locked into next gen, and some can be upgraded for a cheap $10. I mean, it gets really convoluted. I'll have the source linked down below in the description just so I don't make your head explode trying to explain it to you here in the video. Now, if you're sensitive, this is the part of the video where I'm going to call out somebody who is one of the biggest perpetrator of these tactics and keeps them alive. PlayStation. Yes, I'm an Xbox guy, but this has nothing to do with it, and I play on Xbox for more than just the games. I consider myself an educated consumer and not a sheeple, and when it comes to Spider-Man Miles Morales, I understand the truth. The truth being that Spider-Man Miles Morales was created and developed for the PS4. Sources say that the game was actually supposed to be much smaller in scope, kinda just like Uncharted's Lost Legacy. It's meant to expand upon the Spider-Man universe and not meant to be a 40 to 60 hour experience. For starters, because this game was developed with the PS4 in mind and on x86 architecture, there is no reason at all this game cannot be on the PS4. If you played it on a PS4, you would have loading screens and lack of stuff like ray tracing, ambient inclusions, and resolution. To make the truth even harder to hear, because the game is actually going to be smaller in scope, which means it's going to be less of a data size, it's almost faked that this game is going to load quicker, and people who adopt the PS5 day one are going to be amazed by this. And yes, the compressed data of this game is going to be smaller than that of a true next-gen first-party exclusive. So yes, Sony is kissing off all the fans that have supported them through the generation and forcing us to buy a PS4 game on the PS5. Yes, it will look shinier and function better on the PS5, but there is no reason for PS4 consumers to be left in the wind. It's a shame certain developers and publishers are embracing tactics like this. To make it clear, I am not against anybody trying to make more money with their product. But when you hold down or step on a certain consumer to help another one rise up and benefit, it starts kind of going against my own ethics as a human being. I support microtransactions. I buy the hell out of them. I enjoy having certain upgrades to my game that are purely cosmetic. Or even maybe the occasional download of some DLC. Take Journey to the Savage Planets upgrade, hot garbage. But should I benefit from the fact that there is going to be people out there that cannot afford to go to next gen day one, when we're talking about a game that I know is possible and was built on last gen's technology? This doesn't happen on PC. When you get a new graphics card, your computer does not ask you to pay a price to start playing your games again at that new resolution. Console gamers have had to deal with the greed of gaming developers for a very long time, charging them for silly little things and basically penalizing them for being on a console. It's tactics like this that grow into bigger and worse things. It is okay though for things to change and consumers to speak out on better things that can be done in the market. Look at text messaging. I can remember a time when everyone was charged for every text message that they would send. When consumers slowly figured out that they shouldn't be charged for something like that, cell phone companies eventually made it unlimited texting in almost every basic cell phone plan. Please let me know how you feel about this whole situation coming into next gen down in the comments section below. I'm truly curious if there's a lot of people bothered by this or if there's going to be a lot of people that just don't care. For me, I want to get these consoles. I don't care about the delays. I don't care about all the in-betweens on what it takes to get the games I want to play on these consoles. For me, it's going to weigh on my conscience that I'm going to feel sort of like an asshole elitist in getting these consoles. There's tactics that are being put in place that single out a certain class of human beings, and I don't feel right in that at all. What is the point in having all these great, glorious games if we have no one to share and discuss these experiences with because it's unaffordable? Final ending point, as long as these games are developed to work on a mechanical hard drive, there is no reason they cannot work on any last-gen console. That includes Xbox One, PS4, and PC. So here we are once again, my fellow friends and neighbors of the gaming community. I am Centurion1307. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and check me out on Twitter and Xbox Live. Thank you for tuning in, and remember, positivity starts with us. So let's change some things, game united, and stay positive out there. Thank you for watching.